15 biggest snakes ever found in the world. There is no animal on this planet more sinister than the serpent. This killer beast can slide through the shadows undetected to the extent of sharing their habitat with unsuspecting humans. However, these slithering shady snakes are so oversized that it's impossible to miss them. I am telling you that snakes can grow to spectacular proportions, with some of them spanning the length of a whole bus. Woof, that's freaky! From giant anacondas in the Amazons to articulated pythons that can swallow a person whole, these are the 15 biggest snakes ever found. But if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our amazing videos, and like the video. Number 1. Anaconda, found in Brazilian cave. The South American serpent is the largest type of snake on the planet when it comes to overall mass, and it is the subject of multiple horror stories in local legends. It so happens that some of these tales turn out to be true. In 2016, one of the biggest anacondas ever turned up to a construction site in Brazil, but it wasn't looking for a construction job or anything of that sort. After launching a controlled explosion in the cave of Altamira in the northern state of Pará, the workers quickly realized that they had unleashed a beast. Now this sounds like the start of a horror movie. The gigantic snake measured an unbelievable 33 feet and weighed over 880 pounds. Somehow these workers managed to hold the extra large snake into submission. It reached this shocking size by slithering through the jungle, feeding on wild hogs, deer and even jaguars, and we bet he has had a few human snacks. The green anaconda is not venomous, but it is a member of the boar family, crushing its victims to death with its super strong muscles. There's no escaping the crushes of a 33 feet anaconda. Before we move on, smash that like button, click the notification bell right now, because if you don't, you just might get a venomous bite. But joking guys, let's proceed. I wasn't joking about the likes and the notifications button though. Number 2. The hungry African rock python. This hungry African rock python, being Africa's largest snake, sure has a big appetite. The snake can reach over 23 feet in length, and they are so vicious that it's rumored the hashed out eggs hissing in anger. The snake was spotted on camera trying to break into someone's house, but it got distracted by an unfortunate little rabbit. Look at how the raging rock python squeezes the life out of the rabbit. We wouldn't want to imagine what would have transpired if the normal snake actually made its way into the house. With the ability to unhitch their jaws and swallow prey whole, the African rock python can eat and kill pretty much anything they want, humans being inclusive. As a matter of fact, one specimen was found with a 5-foot Nile crocodile in its belly. If this snake can take on killer crocs, then what chance do you have? Number 3. Yellow anaconda harassed by fishermen. A couple of buddies went on a fishing trip in the Santa Maria River in Brazil, but they weren't expecting to catch anything like this. Swimming forward, the men discovered they were being followed by an enormous yellow anaconda, measuring a staggering 17 feet. Rather than making a run or swim for it, the fishermen rather tried to capture this nightmare on camera. Priding the big snake with a wooden orb, they chased the anaconda down the river. Unfortunately, the viral video ended up getting the fishing trio in big trouble, and they were each fined the equivalent of $600 for harassing the giant creature. They even faced up to a year and a half in jail for breaking the environmental law that prohibits the chasing or hunting of wildlife without authorization. If you ask me, there aren't many people breaking this law when it comes to giant yellow anacondas. Any sane person would have been running the opposite direction. Number 4. The Indian python who bit off more than it could chew. Looks like this slow-moving snake has eyes bigger than its belly. This local python had to be rescued by local villagers in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh when its dinner went down the wrong way. After gobbling down a goat, the python found itself unable to move and was stuck on the spot. Forest officials saved the sorry serpent by using a system of ropes and logs to roll the heavy python onto a pickup truck. Personally, I am wondering if the snake felt a little embarrassed by the whole ordeal. The forest officials reassured everyone that the python was totally harmless and that they had nothing to fear. Well, that's easy to say. What about the poor goat? Number 5. This massive Indian python. This blurry footage seems to reveal a rather enormous python in South India that is so long that it seems not to end. But is this large snake for real or just a tad tale? The quality of this viral video makes it so hard to tell. Even people in the comment section of this leaked footage seem to be scratching their heads. Some have claimed that CGI fakes aren't common in India, where the video was supposedly filmed. They think that the footage must be genuine. Others even say that they've been informed that the video is 100% real and that local government is even taking action to find the genomous snake. Indian pythons are fairly common throughout the trees of India. They grow up to 20 feet and live in a solitary existence, prowling in the undergrowth waiting to jump on their prey. Although they aren't poisonous, they do have rows of knife-sharp teeth that can cause excruciating pain if eaten. If this video is for real, we really do hope that there's someone out there keeping tabs on this large beast. Number 6. Giant rattlesnake in Florida. When this couple headed out to birdwatch, they certainly got an eyeful. Instead of spotting a rare bird, they saw a massive rattlesnake who had almost likely been feasting on the local birds. The 9-foot diamondback rattlesnake was found in Florida, with Kathy Terry telling news reporters she thought it could have eaten an entire horse. Rattlesnakes like this beast are usually found in bushes and grassy areas of Florida, and they can actually be extremely dangerous. Luckily, they have that famous warning rattle to make sure unsuspecting bird watchers or passersby stay well away from their verdure. Number 7. Python that swallowed a woman. When the family of a 54-year-old woman named Watiba went looking for her after she went missing, all they found were her sandals and a flashlight lying in her vegetable garden in Sulawesi. In the course of her search, villagers on Mona Island soon found a bloated python just 54 yards from where they had found her possessions. Suspecting the snake to have swallowed their relative, they killed it and carried it back to their village to slice it open and know the truth. Inside the python's belly was sadly the woman who had indeed been swallowed headfirst. This tragedy just goes to show that these massive slithering predators will stop at nothing to hunt down their next meal, even if their dinner is too big for them to digest. The spooky predators will simply regurgitate their victims, most times whole, to make room for a more handy snack. Number 8. Python discovered by tiger. Even violent big cats are afraid of the giant python. Apparently, this Indian tiger knows what awaits him if he crosses the path of the slithering snake. A gigantic python lies in between this ferocious predator and his final destination, refusing to move an inch for the carnivorous cat. Let's be honest, probably even a tiger wouldn't escape the clutches of this aggressive constrictor. This extraordinary video shared by the Indian Forest Services has had over 1 million views. Now the whole world knows what a match between tiger and python will turn out to be. There's actually no competition there. Number 9. Chamurion the lucky python. Sam Bath found himself with a strange serpentine playmate when his mother found a small snake in their house. After dreaming that a giant snake will come and protect her family, Sambath's parents couldn't believe that an actual python had turned up in their home in Cambodia. Just as her dream had predicted, the unusual snake eventually developed into a massive beast, growing alongside her infant son. They named the python Chamurion, meaning lucky, and before long, the pet snake had bonded with baby Sambath. They were so close that they would hug, cuddle, and even sleep together in his crib. However, as any parent will tell you, they don't stay little for long, and the same applies to the snakes. The snake soon grew up to a 16-foot-long, 220-pound snake. The bizarre friendship between the boy and the snake captured the attention of animal lovers all over the world. Tourists began traveling to a small village in Cambodia to witness Sam and the Chamurion's bond, but childhood friendships don't always have a fairy tale ending. As you would expect from a dangerous snake, it was only a matter of time before someone got hurt. Tragically, the snake bit Sam and the family had no choice but to surrender it to a local zoo. I mean, it's not for nothing that we refer to untrustworthy people as serpents. Don't trust the snakes, guys. Number 10. The King Cobra. Who is the king of the snakes? Do we even have to ask? It is the King Cobra, of course. These killer snakes are the biggest venomous snakes in the entire world. They've got size as well as a deadly bite. These majestic serpents can be found throughout Asia and can reach massive lengths of between 10 to 13 feet long. You will need to be a very fast runner to escape a lethal dose of venom from this reptile. The King Cobra can direct 7 milliliters of venom in a single bite, causing extreme dizziness, blurred vision, and paralysis. The longest ever recorded King Cobra was 18 feet 9 inches long and had been found in the jungles of Malaysia before being taken to London Zoo in the 20th century. To make matters worse, it takes just 30 minutes for their deadly venom to kill a human. Their bite is so potent that a single bite could kill a fully grown elephant in just 3 hours. Forget lions, the King Cobra is the real king in the animal kingdom. Number 11. Dirk the Australian Python. Most of us would be terrified to find a 9-foot python slithering up the gutter of our house, but not Robbie Niels. Robbie first spotted the snake in the rafters of his garage in Australia and named the massive snake Dirk. Pulling him down from the roof of his home, Robbie threw the carpet python in some bushes outside of his house and didn't think about it again. However, Dirk returned 6 months later approximately 3 feet bigger than when he last showed up. Did he come back vengeful? Apparently not, as Robbie seems to live in peace with the python as it comes and goes as it pleases. It even slithers up to the roof to sunbath when it gets cold. Carpet pythons spread their name from the attractive markings, which resembles a Persian carpet pattern, and they can reach lengths of up to 12 feet, living up to 20 years. Looks like Robbie might have found himself a permanent lodger. Number 12. Florida Python vs. Goat. Snakes are taking over the world, or at least Florida. Gigantic Burmese pythons have invaded the Everglades swamps and they are breeding generously. This invasive species is dominating the US state in California, killing everything in its path. It all started when the exotic pet trade boomed in Florida, with dealers importing these huge snakes from their native Southeast Asia. Series of outrageous hurricanes saw the snakes breaking free from breeding facilities, and that's how they took the chance to build a new life. Even though they hadn't lived this way for ages, these opportunist snakes stated ambushes small animals like raccoons, rats, dogs and cats, and even pig fights with the fierce Argentine alligators. This enormous snake was caught on camera devouring a goat for dinner, proving that the Burmese python will stop at nothing for a quick snack. They are 2 feet long from the moment they hatch and can grow to a whopping 20 feet. Worse still, there are said to be hundreds of thousands of these beasts living in the USA today. Make sure to keep your pets inside. Number 13. Gabon Vipers. These malicious snakes have the longest venomous fangs in the world, one of the largest vipers in all of Africa. These risky reptiles weigh up to 40 pounds and can grow up to 6 feet long. The Guinness Book World Record for the longest Gabon viper fangs measures 2 inches, and they also produce more venom than any other snake. Enough to inject deadly doses into 30 people. They may look stunning with their unique camouflage skin, but their venomous bite can kill you, but not before rendering you as helpless as a baby. Here, the Gabon viper bite can cause hemorrhaging. Evacuation of the bowels as well as swollen tongue will leave you unable to cry out for help. Now that's a perfect example of a nasty way to go. Number 14. Africa's largest venomous snake. The terrifying black mamba is not only the biggest but the fastest venomous snake in Africa. Growing up to 14 feet long, this cold-blooded killer slithers at a speed of 12 miles per hour, chasing down its prey with a super spooky coffin-shaped head. And once they catch you, well, it's pretty much game over. Unless you are a mongoose, just a few drops of black mamba venom can kill a human, paralyzing its victims and shutting down their organs one by one. A black mamba is a painful death sentence remedied only by the right antivenom. However, the mongoose has a weird superpower that makes it immune to this frightening reptile's venom, and they've been spotted tormenting the snake, conscious that this bite won't harm them. Well, someone has to go stand up to the bad guys, right? Number 15. 50-foot python, the biggest snake in the world. Weighing in at nearly 1,000 pounds, this gigantic python is most likely the biggest snake in the world. Villagers in Sumatra, Indonesia found this unbelievable reptile roaming the forest and managed to wrangle the snake into captivity. The enormous snake was then taken to a zoo where it was named Fragrant Flower. This python is now believed to be the longest snake on the planet, beating the Guinness Book record set by a 32-foot serpent almost a century ago. You can tell finding a snake of this size is once in a blue event. There we have it. There are some real big snakes out there, and honestly, none of them are out to play with you. Let us know if you think otherwise in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.